I'm Jo Yarrington. I've been a visual artist for 35 years. I came to Grounds for Sculpture at the invitation of Virginia Steele, the curator for the museum building, to develop a piece specifically for this site in relationship to its history and also its location. It's the 20th anniversary of the museum building, so I kept that in mind as I was developing a piece. It's been an interesting journey. I've learned a lot of things about the history of how this museum and how Grounds for Sculpture came into being, and my piece relates to that history. Because it's the 20th anniversary, because it's a pivotal time for Seward Johnson. I believe he's also having a retrospective of his work next year. I was thinking about visionaries, and I was thinking about taking leaps. I thought it had a relationship to me as an artist. I thought it had a relationship to Seward Johnson as he came onto the fairground site and conceived of a grounds for sculptural pieces. I loved this building because I work with transparent photographs, and your ability to look through them as a viewer, to look outside, to look at the images, and to look inside the space, both at what's being projected on the ground and also how those projections might fall on your body. So you're kind of immersed in a piece, hopefully in a corporeal way. It's all about the audience and the interaction with the space. Well, I took the train here every time I came down to talk to a Virginia Steele curator about the piece. Of course, I'm a photographer, and I got my iPhone out, and not knowing how I was going to use it, I decided to do a kind of a timed basis of the images that I'm seeing outside the windows, since that related to the piece. I used an app that kind of gave it those images an historic look, and I like the fact that we are on train tracks, and this building was on tracks, and so there's a kind of fun sense of movement and journey that the building and I took throughout the whole thing. The side windows, I liked, they were very different than the front grid window that I worked on. In the side windows, I used the Acrobat for the long, very tall windows because I like the sense of airiness and space and a kind of letting go aspect to that, and I didn't want too much interference with that. And I've been doing what's called Duraclears, which are these large transparent images. They're emulsion based, so it is actual film that you're looking at on an acetate basis. And I work on color adjustment. It has a lot to do with the fact that these are not on paper, that they're going to have full sun, high density light, and so the chroma has to be pretty rich, and the color has to be very dense on the surface, so you should be able to read it in low and high light as well. The film is adjusted to the actual size of the piece, so we do it in strips. We lay it out on the floor. We adjust it to scale. We put it into the windows with a 3M transparent tape that adheres it to the windows, and so it has a feeling like stained glass. And also you feel like you're looking at a cohesive image, but it's actually made out of a number of individual parts that have been printed. So the feeling hopefully is something somewhere between stained glass and 2013 visual images. And I like the idea that it's kind of high and low tech together, so that there's a feeling of old historic photography and also something that couldn't be done without being translated into a digital file, so there's that play between the two. I like the idea of metaphorically and actually letting go. It intersects with my own journey down and back, and I guess through this piece. The image itself, the idea of the leap, I think it was a nice title, very apt to where I am right now with an artistic career, so we all take chances. This is another one that I've taken in a long, long history with site-based work.